All right. Throat grabs. Question that was actually put to me again recently. How exactly would someone defend against a throat grab? Throat grabs are an extremely common predatory attack. They're common because naturally they make people feel immediately uncomfortable. Any kind of contact that someone may feel up against their throat immediately feels like their air supply is actually being suppressed. Naturally, when that happens, a lot of people feel as though their body is actually going into some form of shock. And that is actually very, very true, because any time that there is an attack placed on the throat, whether it be a grab or a choke from behind, anyone who's ever had that done to them will tell you that you do have a very, very small window of opportunity to actually deal with it. When you're actually have your air supply restricted, you do feel pretty vulnerable. So to answer this question, we're going to assume that the attack is happening with your back up against the wall. And we're going to break it down into two segments. The first segment will be focusing on a single-handed choke, and then in the second segment we're going to look at the two-handed choke. So let's look at this. You're in a situation. Someone actually approaches you and places this grab on. Okay? Your natural instinct in that instance will most likely be to shrivel your neck. And that's actually a very good thing. It's a very good natural reaction, because, as I said, when someone actually grabs you by the throat, you immediately start to lose oxygen. You're going to find it very, very difficult to breathe. So the natural reaction that comes with having something around the throat is a very, very good one. For example, I drop my chin. As soon as this happens, I drop my chin. I'm protecting my neck from any kind of heavy grip which could be happening here. But the other thing you actually have to be aware of is that I cannot stress enough how immediate your reaction has to be when someone grabs you. Because keep in mind, when this is actually placed on, if this is done really, really quickly, the impact of someone grabbing you by the throat, that impact alone could do a very severe amount of damage. So you keep in mind, your reaction to this has to be fairly quick. So someone has you here by the throat. Why are they only using one hand? Ask yourself that question. Why are they only using one hand? It's a predatory action, but it's one of self-control. This person is actually trying to control you, as most likely they come in with this secondary attack, whether that be a punch, a stabbing motion, even a knee into the body. There's multiple things that can happen here. So rather than focusing on this, my initial reaction has to be one of offense. As soon as actually this happens, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cup my hand like this. I'm going to drop my weight down onto the outside of their elbow. As I'm doing that, simultaneously, I'm going to actually apply a strike with the rear hand. I'm going to punch. I could palm strike, whatever is actually suitable. Person has you by the throat. Simultaneously dropping my hand down here and applying a strike to the face. Immediately after I've done that, I'm basically going to take this person by the shoulder, keeping my hand here on their arm. I'm going to knee. I'm going to turn. I'm going to drive them into the wall. Boom, boom, boom. Following through with whatever strikes that I need to use to basically render this person. Now, one question that was actually put to me as regards to the length of somebody's arm. If this is actually a situation where the person who's attacking you has long reach, and say for example I haven't got the reach myself to make contact with my arms, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm still not going to attack. This person's got me by the throat, I can't reach them, bang! I'm going to raise my leg, I'm going to kick this guy. Groin, knee, whatever available target I have. But from there, I still follow through with my original plan. He comes in here, I kick, I cup down this hand and I strike. I come in here, clench, knee, I turn, ram him straight into the wall. From there, I apply whatever strikes I actually need to render this person. Elbow, punch, palm strike, whatever I have to use. And keep in mind that the application, if the person decides to use two hands to choke you, it's the exact same. I'm going to follow the exact same motion. I'm going to cut my hand down. I'm going to strike. I'm going to strike in here. I'm going to clench up. I'm going to knee. I'm going to step around, bring this person straight into the wall. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to apply whatever strikes I need to use to render this person useless. So one more time. Two-handed grab comes in. Person has me like this. Strike. Clench in. Knee. Turn around. Bring him into the wall. Boom, boom. Follow through with whatever it is that you need to apply in order to protect yourself. But do keep in mind, you are going to have a very, very small window of opportunity to defend yourself in this situation. The second, and this is something that you should practice very vigorously, because on the street, the immediate attack to your throat and the clenching of your throat is going to be one that's going to send you into shock. Initial reaction most probably will be to try and wrestle this arm in some way, but that is not going to guarantee that it's going to loosen this person's grip. My back's against the wall. I have nowhere to go. The only way I can go is directly in. Make an attempt at trying to render this person a little bit disoriented by striking him. Strike, strike, grab, knee, bring him round, strike. I do hope this information was useful. If you do like this video, please consider hitting the subscribe button below. Also, please consider hitting the bell notification. We've got a lot more content coming up in the future. If you want to see it, you'll get a notification every time. And of course, if you have any questions about self-defense or martial arts in general, please send them to us and we'll do our very best to answer them. Thanks.